My do you know? What is the name given to this one? What is the name given to this one? As you can see, I was doing some work on it, right? And then we also have another one here, top boss. Yeah, we're not talking about the charger today. We also have this, most like the same one with the other flexible. And I brought you another one, which is this one. What do you refer to this one as? In my country, we refer to it as twin with earth. And we also have this cable, right? Commonly used in drop cables where you have the drop power from the pole all the way to your home through the meter box. We shall do some connections here for the bulbs, the lighting. We shall strip cables, right? We also have another important stripping tool here. We shall use it. And we shall also be talking about stripping with the pliers and how that one can impact the terminations and the final work that we do whenever it comes to electrical installations. Top boss, where are you streaming from? And are you ready for this live stream? Today we are going to learn a lot, and we're going to educate each other when it comes to electrical and electrical installations, my top boss. So that is basically what we are doing. And we are talking about the cables or domestic installations, especially when it comes to Abu. Good evening too. So glad to have you. So we also have this important tool. What is the name given to this tool? So you will find that so many people are using it, to either cut the cables, or they are using it to sometimes strip the cables. So many people use it for various services. Some people may try to attempt, some people may try to, strip with it. Is it the correct tool for stripping? I don't think so. Myself, I'm used to this cable stripper here. It makes my work really easier. In fact, we have the diameter listing here, AWG, and then on the other side we have MM, uh, which is mostly used here in Kenya. In your country, do you use AWG or do you use MM? You know, so for my country, Kenya, we are used to that. My top boss, welcome to our today's live stream. Why is it important to consider the size of the cable? I will also add something else. Why is it important to consider the type of the cable? There are so many reasons why you need to consider size as well as the type of the cable, my top boss. Real time, real time. Let me know where you are streaming from. Let me know, my top boss, how this today's stream is coming to you live. My name is John Gatehi, and this is Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Hit that like button if you are ready to get some value when it comes to electrical, my top boss. Now, I want us to talk about this important cable here. Let us start all the way from outside as we come inside the home. What we talked about in our previous video, which was wiring at the meter box. Have you checked that video, my top boss? I will definitely be linking it on the description. And if my able moderator is live with me, you can as well pin it on the comment section, or have it on the description for you, my top bosses. So this cable is a 16 mm cable, right? So here we are talking about the diameter. Okay, talking about the diameter. What is the difference between the diameter and the cross-sectional area? The diameter is in mm. The cross-sectional area is mm squared. Any difference? Look at how big that cable is. When we come to talking about earthing, we shall talk about the connection that is done on the neutral cable. That is when we shall talk about connections such as TN, TNC, TNS, TNCS, all of that. What does that mean? My top boss, stay tuned for that session, which will be fire. And if you want to be the early bird as well, you can check it out on the description. We will be pinning that. We'll be having that link to our channel whereby you can be able to learn a lot, well researched topics when it comes to electrical installations. Now, this cable is a 16 mm. It drops from the pole. If you have been seeing installations, you definitely are aware of this cable. You are definitely aware of the colors. Look at that. In fact, I just added this black tape here. Black, the reason why we use black is because we want to color code, So when you strip this cable, you only have these parts. Okay, I've reduced them, but that is what you have as well as that. So the reason why you use the black tape is simply to indicate that this one is definitely, the neutral, and then this is the phase or the line. Okay, so from the pole we usually have those two power lines, the two conductors. Okay, it's one power line, two conductors. So we have the two conductors. The top one is prioritized as the phase connection. All right, so with the phase connection, we have this connection here attached to the phase, and then this is attached to the neutral. All right, so from the pole we have, for a single phase, we have these two uh, cables dropping to a property. It is lately that we see that people are actually using, some conductors or some wires which are twisted. You find that we have black cables, such as this one. You have two black cables which appear to be twisted as they drop to the meter box or the meter board. Okay, let's use the meter box because that is for the single phase. Yeah, all right. So we have this dropping all the way to the meter box. Of course, the person that is doing the work will know that there is a neutral as well as a phase. How will they know? Of course, using a phase tester, my top boss. All right. Yeah, thank you so much for you who are joining in. I can see Abu Ali says, good evening. Good evening to my top boss, Abu Ali. You are saying, I'm from Uganda. Sebo. Sebo. Good to see you, Sebo. I'm from Uganda and you're a member of WhatsApp. Thank you so much for joining in. I really do appreciate when my top bosses join in. I also have It's Tevez says, also, what is radio in socket? What is radio in socket? And he also goes ahead to say, let me know about the connection of two gang switch and intermediate switch, lighting two bulbs, while one gang is master switch. Absolutely, that is completely very, very simple. I will definitely be linking that on the description. So if you will be watching this video on a record version, you'll definitely bump into that. Another important person here, my top boss, calls himself Kamba Guitar Tutorials. Incredible name right there. Says hello, top boss. Good to see you. Kamba Guitar Tutorials also have good Samaritan says, good evening, top boss. I'm from Lusaka, Zambia. Welcome. So from the pole, if you have these cables dropping to the meter box, then definitely the phase has to be determined so that the phase is only connected to a phase connection. Don't interchange things, because even for the energy meter, the energy meter has indications whereby you will find that there is L in and L out, assuming that this is the energy meter that is in use, for that particular installation. We have a diagram that is drawn here properly. We have 1, which is L, and then we have 2, which is N. That is the incoming, all right? And then 4, and then 3, which is the neutral. If you are going to confuse at the point whereby those two cables are dropping from the pole, and then you insert something different on this meter. It means energy meter. It means that you may even short circuit the meter, and that means that the meter will be damaged. All right, assuming that the customer has given you that mandate to install this meter, or the national grid power supplier has given you that authority to install the meter, because there are some electricians who are trusted by Kenya Power, or the company supplying power in your country. Which one is it? Hmm? My top bosses from Uganda, top bosses from Zambia. What is the name given to your energy utility supplier in our country? Is Kenya Power. Kenya Power and Lightning Company just changed their name to Kenya Power. You know, back then it used to be called KPLC. So this one is a 16 mm. Why that size? So that it can handle the load in that home. All right, a 16 mm cable that drops all the way from the pole to your home. Now we are going to see why you should not use less than that, isn't it? Okay, so if you may allow me, I will simply have it here. Then we have a very important part in an electrical installation, especially when we talk about single phase. And you know, I'm very passionate when it comes to single phase installation, because I believe so many people are not aware about single phase. So before we advance to three phase, where we created a channel for that, a channel which I will be able to share on the description, is Top Boss Electricals. We'll be able to share more of three phase right there. So this channel will purely be dedicated to our beginner electricians as well as students. 16 mm from the pole all the way to the house, and then from the meter box or from the meter board, assuming that there are several energy meters there, you know. So from there we are supplying that power all the way to individual houses. What is the ideal size of the cable from the meter box all the way to the consumer unit? The correct answer is, drum rolls for the person who gets it right first, right? Top bosses, let us interact on the comment section. Let us give energy to this live stream. All right, awesome, awesome. So I want to show you something else here. I don't know whether I will be able to access it with the speed that a top boss is supposed to be having. I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it. Yeah, John gets it. John gets it very fast. And whoop. Yeah, I have it. I have it here, my top bosses. This is the thing that I've been looking for, which is definitely located, normally found at the meter box as well as the consumer unit. It is connected all the way to the house, all right? So in many cases, you find that someone will have it before the energy meter, all right? Nowadays, they have it before the energy meter, so that between in case you want to shut off electricity supply to the meter box, to their house, as well as to the, you know, to the energy meter, you simply shut it from this point. Good Samaritan. What is the correct cable sizing to connect from the meter box to the consumer unit? A good question. Brian Rono says not less than 6 mm. Awesome, awesome. Now we are talking about 10. Why should it not be a 6 mm? All right, because in the house you may find that someone upgrades the appliances or the wiring or extends. Okay, we shall get to how to correctly extend an electrical installation, or to have an extra connection to you know, a home. But the ideal size of a cable from the meter box all the way, you know, my top boss, all the way to the consumer unit has to be a 10. Because assuming that you have a cooker in the kitchen, the kitchen is one area in a home and a single phase installation that uses a lot of appliances that draw a lot of power, my top bosses, right? So assuming that in the kitchen you have sockets connected to appliances such as a microwave, a refrigerator, as well as a deep freezer. Apart from that, you have electric kettle. Okay, all of these things that I'm mentioning are in many cases heaters. A heater is generally a heavy appliance. Can we agree on that at least? A heater is one appliance that is heavy, considered to be heavy under the electrical installations. Mm. When in Kenya we talk about 1.5, that is the diameter of, or the diameter of a wire or a conductor, or a current carrying conductor, we are referring to 14 AWG. If ours is 1.5 mm, Americas will have it as 14 AWG. What is AWG? If we are talking about 2.0, the Americans are talking about 12 AWG. When you talk about 2.5 mm, America is referring to 10 AWG. So on one side is going lower, the other side is going higher. But when we go all the way to, 6.0, the Americans have it as 2. Okay, I don't know whether that information is really important to us here in Africa, but it's good for information. I'll also be sharing a chart, chart on that, so that you can be able to learn. But for the time being, we are talking about the mains. Why is it important for you to use 10 mm and not less? You can even consider 16. Imagine 16 mm. Why? Because assuming that there is a lot of connection that is happening in the kitchen, like I said, we have heaters, we have, you know, uh, microwave. A microwave also draws a lot of power. What is the average power rating of a microwave in a home? In many cases, you find that it is not less than 1.5 kilowatts. All right. So that one is already a heavy appliance at home. Hmm? Um, I have Manzi Msiska says, I like that. I don't know what you like, Manzi. Abdul, good to see you, says American wire gauge. Oh, AWG. Thank you so much for that. Charles Kapange says Kuka cable. Good Samaritan, you have been here, really contributing, and you are saying, I would like to join your other channels. Absolutely. I don't know whether I can be able to pin it here. The other channel, My Top Boss, is incredible because we are going to talk about, we will be talking about three-phase. And for my top bosses who have been asking me about three-phase work, just know this, that I have not ignored your request. And I'm definitely going to share that. We're going to learn a lot when it comes to, three-phase electrical installations, isn't it? And it will be such an incredible, incredible. Let me just share it, isn't it? There we go. Let me just copy share the channel, or it already has over 16,000 views. Over 16,000 views, my top boss. Wow. This is simply out of this world. So let me just share it on the chats. Kindly, yeah. Yeah, I've shared, someone has shared it, Comic Kama. Thank you. Yeah, so when it comes to AWG, it's the American wire gauge. That is from our top boss who has responded it, Abdul. Thank you so much, Abdul. Is it the correct thing though? Right? Do you think the American installation system is the best? Normally, you find that instead of saying a consumer unit like this one, they will say an electrical panel, right? Receptacle. Instead of using the terms such as live wire, they normally use hot wire. Okay, I've at least mastered some of the terms that they use over there. But one thing that stands out for people in the Americas is that they follow the strict rules when it comes to electrical codes. Now, this is a 10 mm cable, right? 10 mm. Let us just observe it. Also look at the strands, look at the number of strands, look at also the size of the strands, you know. Size of the strands. So a 10 mm square cable is ideal when it comes to mains, you know, connecting from the meter box all the way to the consumer unit. But we can also consider using 16. It is not bad. But why should we do that? Because in case there is an additional load than what was anticipated during the electrical installation or during the quotation, then it will be covered well, right? Don't know whether it makes sense. Yes, so 10 mm is ideal for the main so that if we have all the appliances in the kitchen, we'll be able to connect them. Another important thing that I want us to talk about is that in the kitchen, we have 6.0, which is connected to the cooker, electric cooker, or some countries refer to it as the oven, kitchen oven. Okay. Why? Why should we have a 6.0? Number one, factors that we should consider when it comes to the size, how to choose the wire size. You know, number one is the current. What current in that circuit will it be carrying? Now, here we are talking about something very important. We are talking about now an MCB. For instance, we connect an MCB to a circuit, a 6 MCB, all right? To a circuit, a lighting circuit, we will definitely use very lighter cables, you know, very light wires, you know, as the name goes for the lighting. So we probably be using 1.0 or 1.5, depending on the number of lighting points that will be connect to this one. Now, when it comes to the current that will be flowing through that circuit, you know, the current flowing through a circuit is simply determined by the load that is connected. The load will draw the capacity it requires. It's not like a voltage drop. You know, when it comes to the voltage or potential difference has to be at a certain level. If it is 110 volts, it has to be 110 volts, plus or minus very low volt percentages or allowances. When it comes to current, the good thing about current is that it's like we can say it is floating somewhere, and then the device that will require it, it will simply pull it. That is why a 1.5 cable will function well with the lighting without melting. The moment you connect a motor on this cable here, then the amount of current flowing here changes, because the appliance that you have connected here is demanding more current, and in that process it will strain this cable, causing it to overheat. Once it overheats, this insulation barrier here is broken. It's just like water in a stream or water in the river. You hear that the water or the river burst its banks. That means that the water overflew, and then there was a flood that was as a result of that. Okay, so the same happens if you push a lot or water in a pipe. You push a lot of water pressure that than the pipe can handle, the pipe bursts, and then that is what we have, all right? But initially it was working all well. So that is the same when it comes to current. The if the appliance is drawing a lot of current, it means that this cable will not handle. That is why you cannot connect any cable simply because you think that once connected, it will start working. It doesn't mean that that is sustainable. We are looking for sustainability. So the current is very important. Voltage. The higher the voltage, my top boss, the the smaller the size, isn't it? Higher voltages, in many cases have low currents, right? Why do we need the higher voltages, especially in power line transmissions, whereby you're transmitting power over longer distances? You'll find that the voltage will have to be stepped up, all right? And at the point where you require now connection of the load, where you have a substation or a transformer, now you use a bigger cable, which will be able to withstand the current. Because at that point, once the voltage is reduced, current goes high. I mean, current is increased, and therefore that is why you will again require cables to be very huge. Another reason why you require to understand properly the size of the cables is what appliance are you connecting there, like we mentioned, when we are using heaters, motors, appliances that produce heat, that produce as motion, such as motors, you are supposed to take care of that. Insulation, installation environment, that is in terms of, is it conduit inside the wall, is it underground, okay, is that area susceptible to heat? You're wiring a kitchen, very hot place, for instance, or a metallic house, and it is very hot in there. Let's say it's a metallic kitchen, means that Good Samaritan says, thanks. I have joined the other channel. Thank you so much for joining Top Boss Electricals. It means a lot. Support, support, support. Go there, subscribe. We are going to definitely do a lot when it comes to three-phase electrical installations, as well as tests. When it comes to earthing, we are going to carry out earth tests from beginning to the end. We are going to show how the best way to test for the best ground for earthing is using the earth resistance tester. And when we are doing that, we want to know which ground is ideal. We will test several grounds. We will also come up with conditions, like type of soil. Apart from that, we will also, do something on that soil, like let's say improve the moisture level of that soil. How? Adding water. Does adding water improve the soil conductivity? Does it reduce the resistance? Right? So will we say that once it is raining, people are very safe because the soil is less resistive to the flow of stray charges from a home? Yeah, we will talk about that in our channel. So top bosses, head on to our channel, which is Top Boss Electricals, and subscribe. All right, for those who will be watching us on repeat version of this video or this live stream, or on the recorded version, I appreciate you. I will also be linking that on the description as well as the pinned comment. Go there and subscribe. Start consuming the three-phase content. When it comes to the instant shower 6.0, the least that can be accepted there is 4.0. Wiring of an instant shower. But why? Why should you say that, John? Because from this double pole switch here, in fact, from this consumer unit all the way to the double pole switch that you can see here. And then from here, that is a very long distance considering where the instant shower head is. Another thing is that assuming that we have several instant shower heads, first of all, these circuits must be separated. You cannot take a 32 ampere MCB and have them share a circuit. In fact, when it comes to a consumer unit installation, this is where I have a lot of problems with a lot of people. But of course, not people who have been to my we are back like we never left. So sorry about that issue. That technical hitch was from my side. And now I have done something here. You see the lighting has at least changed. You know it, as much as electrical is very serious, but you can see some background, some blue background right there. Do you like it? I assume so. Actually, it was not the internet, it was my devices here overheating because here in the studio, a lot of heat currently because of all this lighting. Anyway, let us proceed. You should not have this consumer unit, you know, as a recommendation for your customers, right? Are we back? Am I audible? Can you get me clearly? My top bosses. Mm. How is my sound? How is my visuals? Are they coming through? Let me hear a comment and we shall be good to go, right? So we are talking about a consumer unit which is a four-way. Abu Ali has been here from the word go, and I salute you. Thank you so much, my top boss, for holding it down for us. And Brian Rono has also been here. Very, very important top boss right here. Kibinda Nkoi, thank you so much. You alerted me about the issue with the internet, and now you are here to confirm that we are back. Thank you. Means a lot to me. When it comes to a consumer unit, so many electricians are quoting a four-way consumer unit. What for? What for? My top boss says there's a problem here in Kenya. Why would you recommend a four-way consumer unit? What will you be having here? This is only four circuits, a four-way meaning four MCBs. Are we only concerned about short circuits? Because the purpose of an MCB is to protect against a short circuit. And if we have an MCCB, it means that we are protecting against what? Cyber says live from Uganda. Thank you so much for joining in. If we are talking about this MCCB, we are referring to protection against an overcurrent, my top boss. Where is the life of people? When someone is electrocuted, will they survive that electrocution? Or will they be burned to death? Will they lose their lives? Yet we went to school to study about these things. We have an RCCB here. What is the main purpose of an RCCB? It makes sure that the flow of current between these two main cables, and I'm not saying that earth connection is not main or it's not important. I'm just giving an example. Electricity, like we agreed, flows in a loop. So the purpose of the RCCB, residual current circuit breaker, is to monitor that current. If the current flowing is 1.5 amperes, it ensures that if at all there is a slight change like 1.48, it automatically trips. It means that there is a leakage somewhere. Look at how brilliant that is. There's a leakage because where is the balance going to? Again, we say that when electricity flows from the source, like in a transformer, it goes all the way, you know, it goes all the way to an appliance. Like, let's say, what appliance do we have here? It will go all the way to, like, let's say, an instant shower head. We have an instant shower head here. Yeah. So you have this instant shower head. It will flow all the way from the transformer all the way to, assuming that in that home the only thing that is on or powered on that time is an instant shower head, from the transformer all the way to the meter box, all the way to the consumer unit, all the way to the double pole switch, and to the instant shower head, assuming it is installed, and then back, completing a circuit. From that circuit, we will know that, for instance, this instant shower head is drawing 25 amperes every time it is working. It means that anything less than that, the RCCB will be able to detect something has left it. You know, it's like that story in the Bible where that lady went and touched and was in contact with the clothes from Jesus. And then Jesus felt like there's something, that there's some powers that has left him. And he was like, who has touched me? I feel like I've lost power. Okay, I'm not good with the Bible stories, but yeah. So that is the work of the RCCB. The RCCB is the messiah in an electrical installation. Why someone will use this one baffles me, because if you have an RCCB added here, it means that you only have you only have two circuits to connect, so that you may protect against what? A short circuit. So that means that you will either connect a socket and a lighting circuit. Now, this one can only be ideal for a single room, where you have a line for sockets, or two sockets or three, and lighting for that room, and probably a security light out there. Nothing more than that. If you introduce an instant shower head here, there is a problem. If you introduce an electric cooker here, there is a problem. Even a 6-way consumer, for me, I will always recommend 10-way consumer unit, so that I have 8 extra circuits after installing an RCCB. Check out the installation that we did for a consumer unit, wiring a consumer unit step by step. I will also be linking that on the description. Yeah. Have you checked our new YouTube channel, My Top Bosses, which is Top Boss Electricals? I've also linked it right there on the comment section. It is Top Boss Electricals. Check it out. I will really appreciate you, as it is currently very heavy when it comes to, 3-phase. Yes, and we are going to talk about that. We'll be posting more of 3-phase installations right there. And thank you so much for my top bosses who have already subscribed. I have already shared the channel link. Abu Ali is asking, how can I connect it? Connect to what? So that is the channel right there. I've also shared it. Okay. Wiring a consumer unit step by step. I will also link that on the description. We have done that already, my top boss. How to install an instant shower head. We have done that also. It is, I will link on the description, how to install an instant shower head step by step. In the next video, we'll probably be talking about the common mistakes that people make when it comes to an instant shower head. First of all, this instant shower head, you have to connect it with a 4.0 mm cable. What are we talking about here? What are we referring to? This is a heater. Let us agree on that. It is a heater, my top bosses. Being a heater, it draws a lot of current. We have said this, that from the consumer unit, it is a circuit on its own. What is a circuit? My top boss, what is a circuit? A circuit is a loop or a flow of or a connection from the source to an appliance or to an outlet or to an electrical installation and then back. I'm very careful when I talk about that because I don't want to chain myself with an appliance. So when it goes to an outlet, we are talking about a socket. We're talking about a socket such as this one, an outlet, electrical outlets, power outlets. When we are talking about an electrical installation, for instance, we're talking about wiring, light wiring or lighting wiring. All right. Another important thing is it comes from the consumer unit, so it originates from its own MCB. Sindio, from its own MCB. It goes all the way to the switch, goes all the way to the appliance. When it comes to this switch, you feed it 4.0, and then what comes out of the switch? DP switch. What is DP in full? DP, it's a DP switch. Why is it referred to as a DP switch? By the way, this switch is UK. No, UK and Kenya or UK and Africa, we share a lot of similarities when it comes to electrical. So it comes in here to this DP switch as the input, goes as the output to the instant shower head. The cable size must be consistent. Don't feed this with a 4.0 and then feed the output which goes to the instant shower head with a 2.5. That is very wrong. It has to be consistent. Now, here is another thing. Earthing has to be a 4.0 as well. Please, please, I urge you, let it be a 4.0 as well. If we are talking about electrical installation for an instant shower head, or for the mains, or for the socket, if we talk about the size of that wiring to be 2.5, to be 4.0, we are not leaving out the aspect of safety. So for us here in Kenya, our color codes are red for face, as the Americans will call it hot wire, and then black is the neutral link, and then of course we have yellow with green stripes. This is earth connection. Earth connection, my top boss. Uniform. When we talk about 4.0 for shower, let it be 4.0. If you use 2.5, there are issues that may arise. First of all, that cable will start overheating. Why? Because of the reaction of the electrons inside that cable. Current that is being drawn is a lot to flow in that cable. Another danger is that this insulation is not meant to handle the current that is drawn by that appliance. What happens next is that this insulation will start to melt. Once it melts, it will expose the wires. Once the wires expose, they touch. Once they come in contact with each other, that is when we have issues such as short circuit. Assuming inside a conduit, right? So let me just strip. Assuming inside a conduit, we have this, the face coming, the insulation of the face stripping or coming off. I mean, in fact, just do it at the center here. so that so assuming that it is punctured, assuming that the insulation is punctured because of one reason or another, they come in contact, that is a short circuit. Assuming the face has really been overheating, and then this insulation is melting, it will heat to the point that if at all it is in contact with the earth connection, it will also melt the insulation on the earth wire, which will then mean that the wire itself, as well as the wire on the line or the live or the face, will come in contact with the wire of the earth connection. What happens? There is a short circuit there. And we are back, and I'm very sorry about that. My top boss, I had to connect my camera to power. That was some battery low. Now, another important factor for you to consider is that there is material that makes a cable or a conductor. If the material is not made of pure copper or aluminum, there is a huge problem right there. Why? Because these two are the best when it comes to electricity or conducting current. They're the best, starting with copper, then aluminum. Why is aluminum preferred, especially for longer distances? It is because it is cheaper. Why is copper preferred, especially in electrical installations? Simple, because when it comes to electrical installations, especially for shorter distances, it performs very well. You'll be able to use it without any issues. Now, there is also another problem. These cables, most of them are not pure copper. All right. So you find that you are being sold a cable which is not pure copper. And that is a huge problem, because there definitely will be an issue when it comes to electric flow of electricity. The other channel is Top Boss Electricals. Yes. So if you have subscribed to it, thank you so much. Top Boss Electricals. By the end of this live stream, you are supposed to be at 50 subscribers, isn't it? We are already at 29. Thank you. We were at 23 when we started. We're supposed to be at 50 by the end of this live stream. Can we get to there? Kakamega ndani, ila three face, by the way, twataka I say. Eric Maestro, I agree with you. Na kuna hii channel nimeshare hapa inaitwa Top Boss Electricals. That is where three face work will be done. This top heights is for beginners, and then as we advance slowly, for mainly for students and all that. But I want Top Boss Electricals, the one that I've shared right here, to be specifically for for three-phase connections. Three-phase connection. So Top Boss Eric, Eric, ensure that you subscribe to it, so that you don't miss any of the three-phase connection, three-phase posts that I create right there. I will be talking more on three-phase. So let me just share it again. Who has subscribed already? There we go. I've already shared it. By the end of this live stream, we should be at 50 subscribers. We are currently at 29 subscribers. This channel that we are on right now is at 56,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. We made it from zero. Imagine. There is also a time where I used to say or used to tell people, please subscribe to Top Heights. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. And we did it. We went to 100 and now we are talking about 56,000 subscribers. We are about to get to 100,000 subscribers. Imagine. Thank you so much for that. There's a question here. What's important for Earth? I don't understand that. M. Taylor, I don't understand your question. Abu, have you seen the channel now? I've shared it already. Who is this? Eric Maestro. Have you seen the channel? Have you been able to subscribe? It is Top Boss Electricals. The material making that cable is very important. If the material is not pure copper, there is an issue. Remember when in high school in physics class, we were talking about the size of the cable or the conductor or the wire contributes to the resistance of that wire. The longer the cable, for instance, if you are connecting a socket which is far away from the source or the consumer unit, do not consider 2.5, consider 4.0. How far is far? That is probably a question that you might be having. How far is far, John, when you talk about far? You know, if it is within the house, it's okay. But assuming it is upstairs. Now, if we are talking about upstairs, we are talking about something else. If we have downstairs and upstairs, we need to have several consumer units there. We need to have two. We need to have the main distribution board, and we also need to have, we also need to have a consumer unit. So, assuming downstairs, we are talking about a 16-way consumer unit. And we are talking about that not just because we need that in downstairs. Probably even the one that is upstairs should be bigger than the one that is downstairs. We are talking about circuits. Assuming that downstairs we need 16 circuits, use that. Now, from there, we need to link the consumer unit downstairs and the one upstairs. But how do we do that? We ensure that there is a flow of a conduit flowing from these mains all the way upstairs, so that the incoming which feeds the one that is downstairs will also provide a way whereby we can connect the upstairs consumer unit. Now, from the meter box to the first consumer unit, we use a 10. From the first consumer unit to the second, we also use a 10. Why should we do so? Because those are consumer units, those are distribution points. Yeah. Vincent Nyange says, yes, I'm privileged enough. I hope you are talking about the channel. I've already found it and you have subscribed to it. Thank you so much. Let me see how many subscribers we are currently. I left it at 29. I hope it is at 50 right now. We are at 31. Thank you. We are improving. We are headed somewhere. So as you can see on the photo right there, we have a 3-phase burner. That is exactly what we are going to be having. God. Okay. We'll be having more of that. When it comes to underground cables, there is a specific name that we use for underground cables or cables that we use, we dig them in the earth. What is that specific name, my top boss? Yeah, Eric says niko ndani ya top boss by the way. Sasa lete mambo tu. Awesome. Three phase connections, perfect wiring, as well as tests. When it comes to earth tests, insulation tests, when it comes to continuity tests, when we talk about what else? When we talk about troubleshooting in an electrical installation, those are some of the things that we are going to handle right there. All right. So cable. I think we are done with the cable sizing. For sockets, we have said is 2.5. For lighting, the cable size has to be 1.5 or 1.0. When we talk about instant shower heads, we are talking about 4.0. When we talk about sockets in the kitchen, which are in many cases overloaded, whereby you have a fridge, uh, what else? Microwave, but again, in the kitchen, you can separate these sockets. You don't have to bundle them into one circuit. You can have like several circuits for sockets in the kitchen. Like let's say you have a circuit for 2 sockets. If let's say you're using 6 sockets in the kitchen, yeah, have 3 circuits right in there. Okay, that one sounds ridiculous because we also have the cooker or the stove. Many people call it the stove or the oven. But yes, why not? Yeah, we need to have a consumer unit the size of a distribution board in a home, ideally. Because, again, remember, you don't have to insert all the protective devices in the consumer unit at the point of installation. Think about future. In case the customer decides to have more circuits, what happens? Are they limited? I can see we are already past 1 hour. I'm about to end this live stream so that I can allow you top bosses to ponder on our discussion tonight. So today I wanted us to also do something live on air, and we are going to do it. Now, I have a customer who told me, John, you know what? I'm tired of buying extension cords. I bought a lot of extension cords and I usually connect heaters, and these room heaters blow up that extension. One port, the next port, the other port, and so on and so forth. What is the ultimate solution? Said, okay, you want me to sort you out? Yes. Where's the nearest socket? 6 meters away. Okay. This is the solution. I will come up with an extension socket or an extended socket where you can plug in that top plug, and then you can also connect your room heater right there. So I did that, but I also want us to repeat the same with you here on this live stream as I explain it. Is it something that we should do? What we are going to do, or what I did with my customer, I recommended that even though it was expensive, I recommended that we do it because it will solve that problem once and for all. A heater or a room heater draws a lot of current. So if you're only relying on, the sockets and then these top lugs, you'll be frustrated. You have to come up with a very good system or connection that will serve you well. So my question to you is, can we connect that right now together on this live stream? Are you interested? If not, we end the live and we say it was awesome. Let me get at least 3 votes. And apart from that, let me get you subscribe to our channel, which is Top Boss Electricals. I don't know whether the link is still here. If I get votes, And if you have subscribed to our channel, which is going to cover much of three-phase electrical installations, this channel is referred to as Top Boss Electricals. I'm definitely going to do that work right now. While we are still at 31, we have to get to 50 before we end this live stream. Another important thing, uh, we need to get to 35 with 3 votes saying, let us connect that right here, John. Can we do that? So I helped my customer to connect, and she overcame the pain of, you know, purchasing new extension cords every now and then. We are about solutions. You have to provide your customers with solutions to the problems that they face, right? So let me see whether you are interested in us connecting it. Vote. I want 3 votes. If you say let us go ahead and do it, sawa sawa, we go ahead and do it. Another thing that we can do, my top boss, is if you subscribe to our channel. Aha, Brian Rono has said yes, let us connect it. I've shared the link for Top Boss Electricals. Subscribe, my Top Boss. Let us get to 50 subscribers before we end the live stream. If you want me to connect the way I connected for my customer, she was very happy. I will even share screenshots. How I resolved my customer's problem. She has kids, very little kids, and she has to prepare them. And the room has to be heated up because, again, they are kids and we have been in the season of cold. Now, I provided a solution for her. She had a lot of issues when it comes to buying extension cords. What I had in mind was a connection such as this one. Don't know whether I should show you. I had a connection in mind such as this one. I use this one whenever I go to do some minor work where I require a drill, where I require a heat gun. You know, it is able to handle such loads. So this is a 1.0 cable, just to extend it. So I want to connect that using a 1.5 cable, a very heavy and a flexible one, so that we can connect it to a socket. And I just demonstrate to you what I did for my customer. So I already have 2 votes, but I'm not seeing subscription on our channel that I've just shared, which is Top Boss Electricals. We are headed to 50 subscribers. Good. We are at 33. We are supposed to be somewhere at 35 huko. I only have 2 votes saying let us connect. I only have 2 subscriptions to Top Boost channel. Where is one more person to say let us connect, and we go ahead and do it. How do you connect an outlet or an extension? You know, we're about to also talk about insulation tapes, why they are very important. All right. So color codes when it comes to electrical installations are very important. If you are using red for red cable, please be consistent. If you're using a cable which is for face, which is this red here, use a red insulation tape so that you don't confuse the next technician who will come to check for errors. When you are using a black cable, kindly consider, like for instance, this one is dented at this point. Don't know whether you can see. Can see the dent. All right, my camera is very clear. So if it is dented, you know, you simply take a black tape. You can also, if you want to go an extra mile, You can even use what we refer to as a shrink sleeve, and then simply shrink it. So use the tape right there. All right. If we are talking about another color tape, let's say we are talking about earth, or it is a green tape. It is a green cable. And then the green cable has a dent. Use the green for it. Why not use a yellow? Sometimes you find that in case we have a three-phase, for instance, here in our country, Kenya, we use yellow to represent the yellow phase. Because in cases whereby you have three-phase, we have red phase, yellow phase, and blue phase. So if you use yellow insulation tape entirely, you might confuse someone that that one is not earth connection, it is indeed a yellow phase. That is where a problem will arise. Blue, same thing. We also have cables which are blue in color. They either, in other countries, we find that they represent the neutral. Is that from our friends in the UK? Mic check 1 2. Are we back? Are we back on the stream? I had to change my mic. Yes, we are back. Abu Ali, thank you so much for keeping it locked. You're saying we are back on this. Amazing. So on that channel, I will be talking about different colors in different regions, different electrical codes in those regions, and I will definitely, be highlighting the importance of each and every electrical code. When it comes to earthing, very important aspect, my top boss, I'll also be guiding you through on our channel, Top Boss Electricals. Where are we at? Are we not yet 50? Why? We are at 34 subscribers. We need to be 50. So have we agreed that I do the connection? Yes. Now I simply did this. This is my stripping tool. Now allow me to bring the camera closer so that I may demonstrate to you what I was able to achieve for my customer. Remember, we shall also be talking about troubleshooting when it comes to lessons that I'll be teaching you on that channel. Yeah. So what materials do I require for extending that? We require a buttress box. Okay. What is the correct name that you give to these in your country? Require these. Require a twin socket or a double socket. See? But why twin? Yet probably she required to only connect the heater here. The other provision, I left it so that she can also connect the extension because she has extended from the socket. So I advised that a twin socket would work best so that she can connect the normal extension here and connect other lighter appliances on the extension, the normal one. Maybe she wanted to connect a charger, an adapter, can connect it right there without any issue. Another important thing that we need, of course, is the cable. Oops. The cable, all right? And we also need a top plug. Now, if you want to use a single socket, it is also the same procedure, right? Same procedure that I used to wire or to connect this extender of mine here that I normally use whenever I visit construction sites. Your WhatsApp number, let me see whether I can pin it here. 254 711 434 12. My top boss Vincent Nyange says, please, Mr. Show us how to install a photo cell. I already did that. I'll also be pinning that on our description so you can check it out on our description show notes. You will definitely watch it, right? So my WhatsApp number is right there. I've also shared it. The name of the channel, Top Boss Electricals. Get in there, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you so much because so far we are at 34 subscribers. We are on the road to 50 subscribers. Cool. So we have said we have this top plug. We also have a twin socket. We have this battery box. Of course, the tools we need is a star. We also need a tester. We also need a cable stripping tool. That we need a pliers just to twist the cables, and that is that. Let me have the camera closer to the table so that we can have a clearer look. Ama vipi? So my top boss, if you're already finding value out of our today's live stream, kindly smash that like button and even subscribe to our channel. So on the show notes or on the description, I've already linked our new YouTube channel where I'll be talking about three-phase connection. All right, three-phase connection. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see that link on the description? Yes. Top Boss Electricals. Once you check it out, it is right on top of the description. Once you check it out, I can guarantee you I will be sharing a lot when it comes to three-phase, when it comes to electrical troubleshooting, which is a very important aspect, especially for us as electrical technicians. Okay. Yeah, it is on the description. So my top boss, let us go ahead and perform that surgery where we connect that socket outlet or an extension that I connected for my clients. At that point, I want to believe it's quite visible. So what I have is the cable right here. I also have my face is not that important, isn't it? We also have these, and we also have these. All right. So I'll go ahead and cut. Go ahead and cut somewhere here. Don't know whether there is a provision. Okay. I can cut here so that will allow the cable to pass in. So that the cable can go through this point. Okay. So I just have to knock off this part. Knock it on the side of the table. Don't know whether that is I can see. I was just creating that small hole right there, so that if we have our cable coming all the way in, we can actually feed it in the socket, isn't it? All right. So that is that. Our cable right here is all of these is a 4 meter. That is in terms of the length, 4 meter cable. Okay. So I'll simply take this tool of mine. Cable really looks cumbersome, doesn't look good. So let us just separate it or put it apart. Or have it in good shape. When did you find out about our channel, Top Heights Electricals and Electricians? So far, if you have been following me either from other platforms or on YouTube. MK Box. This is the one you refer to as MK Box. Abu Ali. I want to see the MK Box. So I've made this hole right there, so that the wire can go through. Great. All right. Yeah, so we have our cable. Let me just ensure that. Have you seen it, Abu? So if I take my stripping tool, it's not ideal, especially for live circuits. As you can see, it is connecting all the way here. So if you are touching on live circuits and then you get hold of it while you are using it, there is a problem. All right. So this is what we do. I place it on the table because I have to be very careful. You can see that. And then I simply cut through the insulation, being careful to avoid cutting my own hand, my own self. So I simply tear it apart like that. Then I get wires out. Simple. But now one thing that amazes me with these cable manufacturers is that the sheath is so big. I don't know why. Why can't they concentrate that energy on the size of the wires itself? Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. So once I've done that, if this is the socket that I'm intending to use, I will definitely have a lot of room for the connection. So with this sheath, this is where now I can either use a side cutter. This is a side cutter. I can also make use of a stripping tool and simply cut. I also have another choice, which is the pliers. Cut looks like a lot of work, and I can still cut with these. So if it were you, which one would you find it easier to use? Easier and safer to use while in the construction site? Hmm? Now, while stripping it, there is a mistake that I've made. See, I've already punctured what is supposed to be our neutral. See that? So what do we do in this case? Completely punctured. Look at that. Can we simply ignore it and use a insulating tape? Can we also use shrinking sleeves? Will it be economical? Another alternative is, can we cut it at this point and start afresh? If you are in my shoes working for the customer, which one would be your preferred method? Do we tape it? Abu Ali says, do we tape it? Because it's only one cable, My suggestion is we tape it and we learn a lesson from that. So we are supposed to, after after stripping a little bit, we simply do like that instead of you know going all the way. So I'm simply going to use the wire on it as I pull it apart, and then I will use a side cutter to cut the sheath. Also being careful not to dent the insulation on the individual wires. So this is what I have. This part, I propose that we tape it with an insulation tape or blue tape, and we continue with our mission. What do you think, my top boss? You have encountered that in the field. How do you handle it? Can we tape it? The black tape globe. This is a globe in. Oh, sorry. That is a globe insulation tape, insulating tape. Can we use a globe insulating tape to do that work, and then we continue? What are your thoughts? I'm suggesting we do that. Thank you, Abu. You have said we can use it. Right. So can simply insulate it at this point from before the dent starts, isn't it? So this is where the dent is starting. So start just before it, and then we go all the way using the right color, a color that is matching that wire, which is blue, and we simply insulate it, being generous with the use of insulation tape. There we have it. Now, my top bosses, we have this socket. Okay. This is the twin socket that we have. It has an L. It has an L. Don't know whether you can see. It has an N for live, for line, and for neutral. And then these two provisions on the side, I think it's a brilliant way of doing things because it shows that the manufacturer was very keen when it comes to safety. We only have two provisions. We have two provisions for earthing, but we only have one for line and for neutral. So it shows that they were very concerned when it comes to safety. Vincent Nyange says yes, of course. All right. So we can simply take our cables right here, insert them right in there. Okay. And so we'll have our socket connected here. So at this point, we use the stripping tool. And before even we go there, I would want to use a white insulating tape and then ensure that things are just looking good, especially for customers who are not that friendly with electricity. Of course, no one should be friends with electricity, should just be cautious, isn't it? Even you as an electrical technician, because I know majority of you, my top bosses, who do follow me, are electrical technicians. You should approach electricity with a lot of caution, even as much as you are used to it, isn't it? Are you providing value to your audience? Because one day you will not be here. I shall also not be here one day. But the point is, are you providing value to the audience that you have? It doesn't matter whether you have one follower or two followers. Brian Rono says a very important point here. Taping it is the best. If you cut, it would be a waste of resources. I agree with you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so backfolding, very important, backfolding. Another alternative, which is the best, my top bosses, is this one. Use of ferrules. Because we can, why not? So these are ferrules. These are my ferrules. Let me take a crimping tool. Ferrule crimping tool. This is the ferrule crimping tool. So because this is stranded cables, or these are stranded wires, that is why it is important for us to use ferrules, right? Use the correct sized ferrule. And another important thing is the color. The color matters so much. Do you agree? Size of the ferrule, color of the ferrule is very important, because my top boss, we are using stranded cables which may actually be damaged by screwing. Now the moment you start screwing it, you might damage it. I have blue, I have red, yes. So I don't have brown ferrule, so I will use red. Okay, like that. I will also use green for earthing, like that. And I will choose, I think I have blue. Let's see whether these, yeah. So we have ferrules, and then simply go ahead and using a crimping tool, crimp it. Also for the neutral, do the same. For these parts here, go ahead and cut. What is the use of that? Yeah, it prevents the denting of the strands or the wire once you have screwed it inside the socket. So what I really mean is that instead of directly screwing this stranded cable with inside the socket, we are using ferrules. You see, there's a very big difference. This one will definitely be damaged by the screw, but the ferrules, they are holding, they are kind of making these cables to be one, almost mimicking as a solid conductor or a solid wire. How does a solid wire look like? A solid wire is one and itself. It's singular. You see, I don't know whether that is the right term. That is a solid cable or a solid conductor or a solid wire. See that? But this one has multiple strands. When you decide to screw this one, you may cut these strands, compromising that connection or the integrity, the electrical integrity. But when you are using these, a single strand, there's no problem. You simply screw it, right? That being said and done, we now go to our socket using an insulated screwdriver. Very important, you have to use an insulated screwdriver so that in case of anything, especially as an electrician, there are cases whereby you may operate on live circuits, so you have to use this. So we unscrew the live connection, we unscrew the neutral. Is it visible from your end? You also unscrew one earth connection, making that a twin socket connection. The good thing about twin socket, you see that one single neutral connected here will serve both these sockets on these sides. That single line is also internally connected to both sockets. So there was no point of having 2L, 2N for these. They are internally linked or internally connected. What we see is this earth connection here. Again, it is important for that to improve the integrity of earthing, which translates to safety. So our brown or our red or our line goes all the way in. Look at that connection. We don't have cables left outside. Once it goes all in, remember in a socket, if these wires, excessive wires, if you may leave them out here, they may be in contact with this metallic section here, which is the earth. That may lead to an internal short circuit, which will trip the MCBs if at all the wiring has been done properly. So that is not advisable. Ensure that the wire goes all in. Screw. So you see what we are doing, we are actually screwing on that ferrule. Once it is tight, you can see even if you try to get it out, it is some bit of work. We go to the neutral. See all of that. Do you think ferrules compromise the integrity of the connection? Like, would you say that a ferrule increases resistance? Do you say so? So we also take our neutral, insert it. Look at how it goes all the way in. Felix Okech says, beautiful. Felix Okech, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. See, it goes all, the neutral with its ferrule into the connection in the socket goes all the way in. Look at that. Look at that. It even flashes with the socket. My goodness. Then using our screwdriver, our insulated screwdriver, we have said that it is actually the best. Simply tighten. Look at the work that is done there. John, you're doing a good job. You need some Salary increment. Oh, you're still the boss. So how would you raise your own salary? Anyway, you'll be repaid one time. Don't worry. Keep working. Keep working, sir. Thank you. So also on the now when it comes to the earth connection, we don't expect it to go all in because again, as you can see, the part where is in contact is just starting right there. So don't expect much, but what is constant is that the screw has to be tightened. Are we good? Look at that. So this is how you are supposed to wire a socket. Ensure the ferrules are connected. Ensure it is tightly done. So our brown here with the red ferrule, our green with yellow cable here, that is for the earth, with its own ferrule. We also have the blue, which is the neutral, with its own ferrule, going all in, and we have ensured that we have tightened. Good. The next level is very simple. We now connect it like that. Connect the socket right there. It will look so good if we turn it the other way, so that this cable is coming from the source, so that you insert an appliance here going that way, so it looks great. So this cable from the source, connect a plug on top here, then it goes like that. Once we have ensured that everything is looking great, don't know what we can do to ensure that the cable is held, so that even if someone was to pull it, there's no way of you can also have it go like that, you see, so that the socket, once we screw with the BS screws, it presses that cable, so that even if you were to pull it, you cannot get rid of it. You see that impact? You see the genius behind there? Am I an inventor? Anyway, I'm not. Just copy pasting. Steve Jobs allowed us to copy paste what other people have already done. So why not myself do that? We can say like this is a single phase electrical installation course, because I believe we have learned a lot today, starting from the type of cable, right? Connections of the cables. Okay. When it comes to screwing, you don't screw using a tester. You screw using the correct tool. So for instance, here we screw using our flat insulated screwdriver, isn't it? The right tool for the right purpose. Don't break your testers. Don't do that. Some of you go to the site, you want to use the screwdriver as a chisel. You want to cut walls using a screwdriver. Seriously. That is not the only work that you have in your life, my friend, in that month, in that year. So if that job costs you a tool or another, or if every job costs you a tool, so that the next time you want to go to the shop the next time you want to go and work, you have to go back to the shop, there is a problem with you, because it means you will be working for tools. Are you really conscious when it comes to investing? Very important, my friend. After we have done that, we need to cover these holes here where we have screwed, so that we can protect our screws from issues such as water, kids from accessing that screw and opening it. So that is the reason why we usually have that. What do you think about that? Is it impressive? All right. So the other part definitely is to create uh, is now to connect it to a top plug. This top plug will be connected to the socket. So you have to connect it right inside here. We're also using this screwdriver and screw it. So we are going to also, these are mechanical stuffs. So we have our top plug here, my top boss. This is the top plug, where on this longer leg we connect the earth connection. Then on this we connect the neutral. And then on the fuse we connect the line, or we connect phase connection, isn't it? And I've not seen the number. Which number are you talking about, Abu? 0711 34 34 12. Let me see our channel. How many subscribers are we so far? 34, still 34. Why are we not at 50 subscribers? Let's get to 50, my top bosses. On the description, I've already shared the link. I'm also sharing it on pinned comment. All right. So here, we shall first of all start with this part here. Very important. This is a part where it holds the cable. Once you've done the terminations for the cables. This is my screwdriver. This is a star screwdriver. Okay. So that is a very important point where it holds our cable. So in case someone is pulling that cable, it will be held here so that it cannot disengage from within, because it may create power surges and other issues. WhatsApp number is 0711 34 34 12 or +254 711 34 34 12. Awesome. So again, using our screwdriver, our star screwdriver, we unscrew for the face, we unscrew for the neutral, as well as the earth connection. Now it gets interesting when we get to this top plug, because you have to place it on top like that, all right, so that we can have the longest cable, which is for the earth connection, going all the way. So if, let's say, we strip until this point here, we would say that we are good. Remember the first mistake that I made while cutting the sheath? I don't want to repeat it. So I just do that. Be gentle. Also, when it comes to separating that, you also become gentle, right? Become gentle to avoid damaging the cable and even cutting myself. So you need to be very keen. Don't be in a rush. Abu Ali says, "Sir, thank you for today's teaching. Are you going? You are not keeping me company till the end, Abu. But I really do appreciate the time that you've been here. It means a lot." So that is how we strip it right up to that point. And then we have our three cables. See? See, this is what Professor did not tell you. He didn't take you step by step. So when we get to there, we cut the sheath. And then we also do that test whereby we place it on top, because this sheath is too big. Cannot place it like that. We'll have to place it at this point. And I prefer to tape it again with the white cable, with the white insulating tape, just to keep things neat or neater. Neater, okay. Things can be neat like that. And I will also, using my stripping tool. Why is it important to use the right tools? You avoid a lot of issues, okay? First, you will not excessively cut on the cables for no reason. So if I use ferrules, let's see how that plays out. Let's not use ferrules for these. The screws are very small, they will not even damage. They will not damage the cables, isn't it? So we start by securing at this point. Ama? If I was actually doing it, this is what I would do. I will start by securing the cable itself. That's the way that I'm doing here. Lift that earth connection. me just be generous. The visuals. So you can see the earth connection. Simply inserting it here. Can you see clearly? Earth connection. Then simply tighten. Earth is number one. Very important. And then the neutral. Lift it a bit. Insert it in. Same procedure, screw it. Ensuring not to screw on the insulation. There we have it. Another very important connection is definitely the line conductor, line cable, line wire. So I go ahead and cut it using the stripping tool. Strip it. We lift it like that. So we screw. Also a very important connection, but it's not that it is very important than the rest, but every connection on this top plug is important. So we can't say that one is more no, we should pay attention to one more than the other one. No. So that is what we have. Okay, just ensure that it will be tight when we have our fuse. So this is the fuse. It's a 13 ampere fuse. Judge my connection. How is it? Not perfect, but we can go with that, isn't it? Aha, so what remains is to place this one on top like that. See, it's flashing. It's flashing very well even before we screw. That is how it's supposed to. And also on this point, you can see the finish work is simply amazing for that top plug. And you go ahead and screw. Look at that. So this cable extension is very complete. So if we plug it to power, then we do the test here, we will find that it is working. Can test with the multimeter, can also test with a device or a gadget, but our interest is to see that we have 240 volts. So using our digital multimeter, setting it to AC 750 because we expect more than 200 volts, which is AC still. So you can see I've set it to AC. $740. So all I need to do is to test on these sockets on. switch them off. So we start with the first one. Simply disengage that earth connection, connect it here, switch it on. Then what we have should give us 240 or thereabouts. 238 is okay. All right, that is the first socket. The second socket, we test it also. Yes, so 238, yeah. So all the sockets are working properly. So this is a good extension from the main socket. If at all you are considering extending a socket from, the main socket. So because of the size of the cable compared to the size of the normal extension cables that we do have, you see like this one is very small. So in many cases you find that it will not be able to handle heavy loads in the home. So with this one, it's like a socket extended from the wall. The size of the cable makes a lot of sense. It's bigger, it's pure copper, it's flexible, you can move around with it. It is not the ultimate solution. It is a temporal, because remember, it is also not waterproof, right? So it has to be used with a lot of care. So once someone is done using it, they definitely need to take it, roll it properly, and return it back to where they store it or place it safely, especially in a home where you have kids. Once you are done using it, you can safely uh, keep it somewhere. This one is ideal for people who go outside when they are working on their machines, when they are working, probably they are plumbers, they require machines, electricians as well. And we also have masons also, if I'm not wrong, can use it. So many people can make good use of that tool, of that installation, definitely. So it comes in handy, especially if you fix a lot of stuff, whether in the construction site or for us as electrical technicians. My top boss, I really do appreciate your time here. For my good friends Abu Ali, I have my top bosses Felix Okech, who joined in later, Brian Rono, Vincent Nyange, thank you so much for joining in, and not just that, but being proactive on the comment section. Met Alex Tuko, you have been here as well. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Eric Maestro, M. Taylor, Vincent, yeah, Nyange mentioned you, and who else? Who else? Good Samaritan Towers was here. Yeah. Kibinda and Koi, thank you so much. What a wonderful name. Charles Kapange, you guys have wonderful names. Thank you so much. It was such a great honor having you in this live stream. I really do appreciate my top bosses. We have had such a great time. I will be sharing more of this on our channel, which is Top Boss Electricals. I will also be going deeper when it comes to earthing, three-phase electrical installations, safety devices that are used in three-phase installations, three-phase power distribution all the way from the transformer, or basically the national electricity grid. I will be sharing how simple that is, my top boss, and you will have great fun. All I request is that you go and subscribe to that channel where we will be sharing a lot of content that is advanced electrical, even when it comes to motor, you know, when it comes to electrical connections for star delta, and when it comes to, I've been requested about, a top boss requested about a photo cell. We can also connect a photo cell with a contactor to activate a heavier load than what a photo cell can only handle. Top boost, we are going to talk about all that. Home automation systems, when we also talk about electric vehicles, we will cover that on that channel. All I'm requesting, all of you top bosses who are already streaming here, is to check out our channel, our new channel for three-phase connections, which is Top Boss Electricals, and subscribe to that channel. My top boss I've also shared on the comment section as well as on the description. Simply connect, let us join in right there, and one day we shall look back and be like, we have come from far. Just like Top Heights, we started from somewhere, and it was hard for us to move from 66. We eventually go to 100 subscribers, and right now, believe it or not, we are already at 56,000 top bosses from across the world, and we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for the love that you have showed. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support, watching my videos, commenting, or even liking. It means a lot when you take your time to stop and interact with me in any way. I really do appreciate. That has been my time. Unless you have something else, my top boss, on the comment section that you'd love to bring to my attention, I have really had a great time. We'll talk about troubleshooting, especially troubleshooting for loose neutral, a thing that is not working in a home. All of that on our new channel, which is Top Boss Electricals. I can guarantee you that you are going to learn a lot. You're going to see a lot of well researched topics and advanced electrical works that will be happening there. Brian Rono says thank you too. I really do appreciate Brian Rono. You have been here all this time, and it means a lot to me having your company on this live stream. And also other top bosses who have not contributed but have been watching silently, you are real soldiers, and I thank you so much, because you know what, you are the movers and shakers that are never seen nor heard, but you keep things rolling. So I really do appreciate you, my top boss. My name is John Gatehi. Until next time, this is Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Goodbye for now. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Bye bye, Top Boss.